So it doesn't take a rocket scientist these days to find information online. So I really appreciate anybody that emailed me and received this video to get some tidbit of information about really the tip of the iceberg when it comes to this information. And that's not a pun. Literally, there's a lot of information out there linking the benefits of exposing ourselves to cold water. So I appreciate you watching my video, taking the time. Thank you for emailing me or giving me your email so I can email you with this link. Like, follow, subscribe, do all those things. We are in the process of opening our gym in Neosho, Missouri, Muscle Factory USA. Boom. And hopefully opening February 1st. But real quick, I want to talk about cold exposure, list some of the benefits that have been linked by research. I'm not going to cite those articles on this video for the interest of time. But benefits are, I think, kind of self-explanatory. We receive an energy benefit, focus benefit, soreness. We improve soreness, reduce muscle soreness. We improve recovery after intense workouts. But a couple of the ones that I've really seen are circulation, respiratory control, and adipose tissue letdown. Brown adipose tissue letdown. Why is it brown? It's brown because of mitochondria. Mitochondria meaning energy, powerhouse of the cell. And so that's, I think, where we get a lot of our energy benefit from cold exposure. And then circulation. Interesting thing about circulation, you've probably had drinks or taken pre-workouts or something like that if you're watching this video, and you felt that kind of tingly sensation when you get exposed to the beta-alanine in those pre-workouts. Cold exposure does a similar thing where those capillaries are expanding and contracting, creating that tingly sensation, except for this is because you're exposing yourself to something very difficult and hard called cold, especially as you get into some colder temperatures. Most of the research is based off of 50-degree water temperatures, which is really not too bad, but it's close to 50 degrees different than your body internal temperature. So that's a big temperature change. So when it comes to thermogenesis, that's why we have this brown adipose tissue let down, is there's a thermogenic effect from cold water exposure. And so there's some major benefits out there that are going to improve your health as well as your performance. Not just, athletically, but, alertness and awareness to help you with work or to help you with relationships. Person I recommend you follow is Wim Hof. He's kind of the Iceman, they call him, is his nickname. He created the Wim Hof method. He wrote a book and everything about it. And he's got there's an interesting YouTube video about his life and history. So I recommend getting connected with him as well. He does a breathing training, and I actually use something similar to that when I get into the cold water exposure. So I mentioned one of the benefits is respiratory changes. Really, it's respiratory control, learning to control your breathing. When I expose myself to cold, I get into the water and I start training my breath. Breathing out for 4 seconds, holding for 4 seconds, breathing in for 4 seconds, holding for 4 seconds, and then follow that sequence over and over again throughout the time frame. I typically am in the water between 3 and 5 minutes. I don't have a reason for that as far as why I'm in there for 3 minutes or why I'm in there for 5 minutes or 4 minutes or 4.5 minutes, whatever. It's just, I don't get out unless I've hit 3 minutes. The cold waters I'm exposed to in natural open waters, usually in rivers or creeks or lakes, I really like. The other night, though, I did it in my tub. I went out, there was snow and ice on the ground outside. I filled a bucket up with that, put it in the tub, got that temperature down. I got it down to 38 degrees, so it was pretty cold in our tub. Did 5 minutes, did my breathing, and then I dunk underwater, get my whole submersion. And I usually do between 15 and 30 seconds holding my breath under that cold water, which when you start doing it, you get under cold water, that's like immediate brain freeze. So kind of an interesting sensation. Usually you get brain freeze from internal, but a brain freeze from external is a little different. And so try it out. Obviously be safe. You do have to immerse yourself slowly. So expose yourself to 30 seconds at first. That might be difficult for some people. You might have an aversion to cold, or some other genetic thing that prevents you from cold exposure. So do what you can. Maybe you can't do submersion because of those aversions, so you do cold exposure from the shower. So try it out. Be safe if you're doing live waters, rivers, things like that, and start things slowly. So this is not medical advice, so it's not to be misconstrued as medical advice. I am not a medical doctor, and so obviously take into consideration maybe consulting with your medical provider or professional before, and I would say competent medical provider before doing cold exposure. So if you're out in this cold right now in the weather, you probably can tolerate getting into submersion water. So try it out. Do a little more to be a little healthier. Peace.